What's up, everybody? My name is Swiftfoot, and I'm married. Oh, crap. Forgot. Hold on. Okay, whew, got it now. Can't keep forgetting that. I'm gonna get in trouble. So, what am I doing? Well, I wanted to make a little mini-series on tips and tricks that I've learned filming weddings that no one has ever told me and I've never found on YouTube. So here we go. 10 things that I've learned filming weddings that no one ever tells you. Them up on my phone and check them off so I don't talk about two. So tip number 1, get in touch with the wedding coordinator. This kind of seems like a gimme, but a lot of people don't do this, but it is super helpful, and I don't know why I never did this to begin with. So you can get in touch with her either the day of and get a schedule, or you can get in touch with her before the wedding. Talk to the couple, be like, hey, I want to talk to your wedding coordinator so I can get a copy of the day of timeline. And if you get in touch with her before, you can actually get in the schedule for your specific shoot. And what I mean by that is, what I like to do is a little newlywed session, if you will. It's after they do the ceremony and they're taking the family pictures. I also, once the photographer is done, take the couple off to the side, have them walking in a field or the vineyard or around wherever the location that I'm at, and just getting the nice little intimate romantic session. I call it the newlywed session. But if you get in contact with the wedding coordinator ahead of time, they can actually put you in the timeline and make it easier so you're not scrambling for shots. Tip number 2, that would have been 4 or 3, I don't even know. So tip number 2, get the pastor or officiant speech. If you have the officiant speech right in front of you in your hand, you know exactly what they're going to do during the ceremony, and you're not going to be just reacting to what's happening. You're going to be proactive and know, okay, now I can get on this side for this part and who's saying what. Oh, he's about to say this. Let me get his reaction, her reaction. It makes it so much easier in the ceremony. You're not just guessing and reacting. Another way that really helps is whenever they're going to do like maybe communion or something where they're tying a knot or pouring sand or something like that. I didn't know what was happening, and I was like, crap, he's doing that now. I'm on the back side of the freaking church. I gotta run super quietly around so I can get the shot, because most of the time when they do stuff like that, they turn their back to the audience, or not audience, it's not a movie, but they turn their back to the audience and you're on that side too. You're like, crap, I'm not getting that shot. But if you know what's happening ahead of time, you can either set up a camera or you know when to go back there. So having a copy of the speech is also like another timeline, but specifically for the ceremony. So I'm not necessarily going in any particular relation order. These are kind of scattered around the place. I just have them listed in a random order. But number 3 is bring extra power packs. So it sucks when you run out of battery power. Like my camera right now is dying. I'm going to need to plug in a battery pack to it. But bring battery packs. I have a bunch of extra batteries on my table right here. I think I have about 10 extra batteries for my Sony. But I don't always like to run, change the battery out, turn the camera off. Sometimes I mess with the settings up when I'm trying to scramble. If I have a battery pack, I just plug it in, keep it in my pocket, and it runs amazingly longer than what the batteries last. So where this comes in handy is that I didn't pay attention to my battery level. I had 1 bar battery, my case was on this side, they were dancing over here. I didn't want to go and switch batteries and miss it, so I remembered, oh, I got battery pack, pulled it out, had a jacket pocket, put it right here, plugged it in my camera, had a wire right here in front of me, but as I was recording, it lasted for about, I think, 4 hours. I think it was the rest of the dance I was left, and I was like, oh my god, I didn't have to switch a battery, and I had all the batteries left for the send-off, just switched them off and we were good to go. And they're super cheap, so there's no point in not bringing one, because you can charge everything on it basically now. Like even the Sony right now that I'm using, the Sony a6300, it can run directly from power like that. My audio recorder I'm using, the Tascam DR60 Mark II, right now has a battery pack hooked up to it, so it's not draining the battery that's inside of it. And I have 1 charging over here, 2 charging over here. They're like a commodity, and you can pick them up for like $5-6 at Ross. I think the 5200 milliamp ones are $6, and then I think the one over here is like a 6000, 7000, something like that, and it was like $9 or super cheap. Just go to Ross and pick some up, and you're gonna thank me later. Another super important tip, which is number 4, ask what the dress code is. There's been times whenever I've never asked what the dress code was and I forgot, so I just went ahead and dressed up super nice, had my dress shoes on. Big mistake. Because not only was the wedding a little bit more casual than normal, my feet were killing me at the end of the day. I did actually, however, find a nice pair of chukka boots that I wear that go really well with everything because they're gray and they're super, super comfortable. But now I always ask what the dress code is, because most of the time, even for the videographers, they give a little bit of an exception. But I just wear polo, nice jeans, maybe slacks, and I wear some nice sneakers that I have that are super clean, really nice looking. They go with everything, but it'll help whenever you're on your feet for 8 hours at a time, if not longer, because they usually tend to go longer. But always ask what the dress code is so you can get away with having comfortable shoes. Tip number 5, do not be afraid to go into the bridal suite. I know it seems kind of weird, and this sort of goes without saying. You have to get shots of her getting ready and the bridesmaids getting ready, and it kind of feels a little bit weird, but don't be afraid to ask. But be sure to ask, because you don't want to walk in on someone changing. That's a very awkward scene. I've almost did that once and they weren't quite ready because someone said they were ready. Someone else said that they're no, I'm naked. I was like, oh, dang it. All right, but make sure to ask, but don't be afraid and don't feel awkward about it. Just go in there. They're paying you to capture their day. Just knock on the door. Hey, is everyone decent? I want to capture some shots of you getting ready. And there's nothing to be afraid of, but make sure you ask. Tip number 6, whatever that is. Tag along with the photographer. Most of the time, if the photographer is setting up a shot, it's going to look good in the video too. Either sort of like capturing the photographer shooting the shot, or the shot that the photographer is taking a picture of will also look good. A lot of the times where that's a good idea is during the family pictures after the ceremony. It's super hectic trying to get all the family members in and out, taking crazy pictures, capturing that moment. Brides love it, grooms love it, the families love it, the videos look really good. So always tag along with the photographer. My dogs are so noisy. I'm not gonna get through this video. Number 7, this one's kind of weird, but don't be afraid to do this one either, and it's staging shots. What I mean by staging shots is it's not faking anything really, but it's just setting up the surroundings to make the aesthetic look a little bit better. There's been several times where I'm setting up a shot and I'm like, oh, I need to capture her getting her makeup done or doing something, and there's nothing really in the foreground or background to convey depth or anything like that. So don't be afraid to stage some shots. Ask them to do the makeup in front of like a window so it's like a nice silhouette shot, or put the bridesmaids behind them looking at her getting ready and stuff like that. So don't be afraid to stage some shots if you need to. And also in doing this, it might actually make the video feel a little bit more cinematic, like a movie rather than like a documentary type feel too. I believe this is number 8. We're gonna go with number 8. I lost track, I didn't count. But for really nice audio, you would want to tap the DJ's soundboard. Now I'm not saying don't bring mics and only use the DJ's audio. Always bring your mics just in case. I got shotgun, I got lapel. This was like 90 bucks on Amazon anyways. Always bring your mics, but another backup or fail-safe, or just to get some audio that you're not getting off of the speeches or the officiant, but tap the DJ's soundboard. So if you're gonna be tapping the DJ's audio, make sure you have the right cables. Pick these up, they're super cheap. eBay was like $2 or $3. I think this was like $5, this was like $1, and they work really well. But make sure you have the right cables. Some DJ boards are different. Some of them only have quarter jack. Some might have 3.5 millimeter or something like that. One of them I did was analog like this, but make sure you have all the right cables and that your hookups on your audio recorder or camera are the same too. Oh, that hit my foot. And also by tapping the DJ's audio, it's already balanced. Make sure you come out of a mic out, and that's gonna give you a nice, really balanced, even sound. So tip number 9, don't be afraid to replicate shots that you've done previously in other weddings or on videos that you've seen on YouTube. So if it's your first wedding, of course you can't necessarily replicate a shot that you've done previously, but don't be afraid to get some ideas or base some shots off of stuff you've seen before. Usually that's a good place to start, so you have something to mold off of to either develop your own style, or there's maybe a shot that they specifically wanted and you're replicating that, or don't be afraid to do it if you've already done it on another wedding. A lot of the times, most people won't even notice unless they've gone through and documented every single one of your videos, but you're really going to be the only one to notice if you've used a shot before. This is good though, in case you like run out of shots or any ideas and you're like, well, I guess I can do some of these just to be safe, and it's always good to have extra footage. It's always bad to not have enough. And last but not least, and this also kind of helps in post-production, I'll get into that a little bit, but it's shoot as many exterior establishing shots as possible. I can't tell you how many times I've came to a point in post-production trying to edit and I don't have a good transition, and I'm like, oh, let me just put an exterior shot in here. Oh crap, I used them all on the establishing shot, so I didn't shoot enough. So go outside, look around, shoot high, low, close, get in a bush, come out of the bush, don't be creepy, rack focus, sliders, aerial shots, walking through, walking out, just walking around, get all the shots that you can possibly think of just to be safe, because you never know when you could actually use those as a good transition spot, or you might not have a good establishing shot when you finish the video and you're like, wait, I need to change that, let's flip it out. Always shoot as much as you can, because like I said before, it's always better to have too much footage than too little. Well, that's it. That's all 10 tips that I got for you today. If you want to see more videos like this, the rest of my tips that I have, leave a like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell so you'll get notifications when we upload a video. So I'll see y'all guys in the next video. Swift signing out.